Hello everyone, this is Entourmology back with the 5th episode of Entourmology. Today we are going to be looking at the vine weevil, aka Otiorhynchus sulcatus. That is that one there. Anyway, let's get started. This is my vine weevil specimen, scientific name Otiorhynchus sulcatus. It is the 6th in my collection, and some viewers may notice that I haven't made a video about the 5th insect in my collection, and that is because I can't identify it. If I can't identify it, I can't tell you about it. So if you recognize the species in these images, let me know, because I would very much like to know. Anyway, on to the labels. As you can see, it was collected on the 28th of May in my local park in Oving by me, and I found it on some cow parsley, by the way, as always. And the order is Coleoptera, which is beetles, Circulionidae, which are true weevils, and Otiorhynchus sulcatus, which means it is a vine weevil. So, now time for the IDing features. In my opinion, a vine weevil is quite distinctive. However, in case you need it, their body length ranges from 7 to 9.5 millimeters. Mine's just about 9.5 millimeters. The body has a short... The body has a short oval shape with dark colorations and patches of pale scales. They mostly are in the striae, which are the grooves that you can see running down. They also have red claws. They have dense small bumps on the vertex, which is the top of an insect's head, with fine pale pubescence. So that's just hair. There is also fine puncturing on the vertex, a well-defined pit between the somewhat convex eyes, the temples, which are the bits between the eyes and the back of the head, are transversely striate, so that means there are small grooves running from one side of the head to another. The antennae and scrobes, my new favourite word, which are the grooves behind the antennae, are visible when viewed from above. The antennal scape, which is the first and longest segment, or usually, of the antenna, they run parallel to the head, somewhat. The uniculus, which is basically just the rest of the antennae, made up of 7 segments. The lateral margins, so the edges away from the centre of the elytra, are evenly curved when viewed from above. The dorsal, so that's the upper surface, covered in small shiny tubercles, like little projection. The elytra is a broad oval shape with rounded shoulders that declines at a sharp angle after its peak. That you can see how it runs along kind of flatly and then just goes straight down. The legs are fairly long and stout. The femora, so that's this segment of the leg, are smooth and do not have tubercles. However, they do have a single pointed tooth, so that's that little point there. The tibia, so that's that next segment here, they broaden towards the tip, and each tarsus, so that's like the very end bits of the legs, each have 2 claws that clearly separate. I wouldn't say there are many similar species because they are fairly distinctive and common, so any ones you do find are probably likely to be this one. As you can see, my specimen is missing its left, middle and hind leg, with the hind leg going missing today. I must have knocked it off when I was getting it out of the frame, which is really annoying. And on to the life cycle of this. So, the life cycle starts when between 500 to 1,600 eggs are laid by the female over a span of 1 to 2 months during the spring. However, in warmer climates, eggs may continue to be laid up until summer, and these are laid into soil around the roots. After about 2 to 3 weeks of development, the eggs hatch into larvae, and they actually move towards the roots of the plant by following a carbonic acid concentration gradient in the soil. Vine weevils are pests, and it is the larvae that cause the most damage as they feed on the bulbs and roots of the plant. The larvae then overwinter in the soil and pupate in the following spring, and as adults, they eat the leaves of various plants. Adults are mostly nocturnal, but during hot summer days they can be seen on walls and pathways. Vine weevils are native to Central and Northern Europe, however they were first recorded in North America in 1831 due to accidental importation from trade, and now have spread to the US, Canada, most of Europe, Central Asia, Japan, South America and Australasia. In the UK, they're common throughout England and Wales, and less common and more sporadic in Scotland. Habitats are basically anywhere where there are their food plants, and there are a lot of food plants. They're considered to be serious agricultural pests, notably first on grapevines, hence the name vine weevils. However, there have now been over 150 plant species recorded from which they have fed, ranging from conifers to monocotyledons. I'm so good with my plant names. They're also a horticultural pest, being able to rapidly spread throughout nurseries. The larvae can develop within bulbs, eating them out and destroying them. They feed on many plants, as I said, over 150 species recorded, and these range from herbs, alpines, ornamental herbaceous species, hardy broadleaf species such as rhododendron, camellia and euonymus tend to be favoured. The increased use of containerized plants and warming temperatures due to climate change has led to a rapid increase in the spread and abundance of the weevil. In warmer climates, the beetle may be present in all stages all year round, breeding continuously, which is obviously bad for any environment, really, as they are considered pests. A final interesting fact is that they reproduce parthenogenically, so without a mate, so they basically clone themselves, with the unfertilized egg turning into females and the fertilized eggs turning into males. However, no males have been found, so I now know that that weevil there is a female.
Thank you for watching another episode of Entourmology. If you enjoyed and or learned something new, be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon so you never miss an episode. It would also be greatly appreciated if you could like, comment and share this video. See you next time for another episode of Entourmology.